The world holds its breath tonight, as uncertainty and fear ripple across continents. Red alerts flash from Taipei to Washington, signaling a crisis that could reshape the global order. Under the cover of darkness, China's People's Liberation Army has launched massive military drills, encircling Taiwan in a dramatic and unprecedented show of force. Codenamed Joint Sword 2025B, this operation is more than a military maneuver. It's a direct challenge to the international order and a test of resolve for Taiwan, the US, and their allies. The Taiwan Strait, a vital artery for global trade and commerce, is now transformed into a stage for high-stakes military drama, with every ship and plane under watchful eyes. This is no routine exercise. It's a full-scale simulation of blockade and invasion, with thousands of troops, tanks, and aircraft mobilized in a chilling rehearsal for conflict. Chinese state media calls it punishment for Taiwan's separatist forces and a stern warning to outsiders who might intervene. Shockwaves ripple through global markets and diplomatic channels as investors and leaders scramble to assess the risks and consequences. For Taiwan's 23 million people, the roar of jets and distant explosions is a chilling reminder of the threat they live under, a threat that feels closer than ever before. The PLA has declared 6 closure zones, some overlapping Taiwan's territorial waters, effectively cutting off major ports and flight routes, disrupting daily life and commerce. Beijing's message is unmistakable: we can seal you off from the world at will, and we are willing to demonstrate that power. World leaders condemn the move, urging immediate de-escalation and warning of dire consequences if tensions continue to rise. Every military movement is scrutinized, every diplomatic word weighed for hidden meaning as intelligence agencies and diplomats work around the clock. Is this intimidation or the prelude to something worse? The world can only guess at Beijing's true intentions. US officials are working urgently to prevent a miscalculation that could spiral into open conflict, holding emergency meetings and coordinating with allies. The world is on a knife's edge, and the fate of a vibrant democracy hangs in the balance as ordinary life collides with the specter of war. The next few days will be critical in determining if this crisis can be resolved peacefully, or if the world will be plunged into a new era of conflict. The stakes could not be higher. The eyes of the world are fixed on Taiwan, waiting to see what happens next. The scale of Joint Sword 2025B is staggering, representing one of the largest and most complex military exercises ever conducted in the region. Satellite images reveal a massive Chinese naval cordon, dozens of destroyers, frigates, and amphibious ships, patrolling drill zones and forming a near-complete blockade around Taiwan's waters. The Shandong Carrier Group, positioned strategically east of the island, practices cutting off foreign aid routes and projecting Chinese power far beyond its shores, simulating real combat scenarios. In the skies above, advanced J-20 stealth fighters and H-6K bombers fly deep into Taiwan's airspace, repeatedly crossing the median line, probing and testing Taiwan's air defenses with aggressive maneuvers. The PLA rocket force launches Dongfeng missiles into the surrounding waters, demonstrating China's ability to strike key infrastructure and military targets before any potential ground invasion could begin. This is psychological warfare at its most intense, intimidation tactics designed to unsettle not just Taiwan's military, but also its civilian population, creating a sense of constant threat and uncertainty. The operation is truly multi-domain: Army, Navy, Air Force, Rocket Force, and cyber units all rehearsing together, coordinating in real time as if preparing for an actual war. Amphibious landing drills, simulated cyber attacks, and joint force maneuvers highlight an unprecedented level of PLA coordination, showcasing their ability to launch simultaneous attacks across multiple fronts. Military analysts warn, this is not just posturing or a show of strength, but a detailed dress rehearsal for a possible invasion scenario, with every move carefully observed. The world is watching with growing alarm as governments and citizens alike monitor the crisis, aware that any miscalculation could spark a wider conflict. The message from Beijing is unmistakable: China is prepared to use overwhelming force if it deems it necessary, and the stakes for Taiwan and the world have never been higher. Taiwan is not standing by idly. As Chinese forces approach, Taiwan's military is on high alert. Emergency protocols activated, leave canceled, and bases buzzing with activity. Fighter jets scramble to intercept PLA aircraft, while mobile air defense batteries protect key sites. The Navy shadows Chinese ships, maintaining a careful distance to avoid accidental clashes. This porcupine defense aims to make invasion costly and difficult. Special forces and Marines are mobilized, ready to counter amphibious or airborne assaults. Taiwan broadcasts warnings to PLA forces and shares images of its readiness to reassure citizens and the world. Vastly outnumbered, Taiwan's advantage is home turf and decades of preparation. Calm, professional, and measured, Taiwan's response shows resolve under immense pressure. Washington's response is swift and resolute, reflecting the seriousness with which the United States views the unfolding crisis. The White House quickly condemns China's provocative actions, issuing a strong statement that reaffirms its unwavering commitment to maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait. President Biden immediately begins coordinating with key allies, holding high-level calls and briefings, while the Pentagon keeps the USS Ronald Reagan carrier group on station as a visible signal of American resolve and readiness. U.S. surveillance planes are dispatched to gather critical intelligence, flying carefully along international airspace, making sure not to provoke direct confrontation but remaining vigilant for any sudden changes. Diplomatically, the State Department works tirelessly to de-escalate tensions, lodging formal protests in Beijing and rallying support from partners as calls for restraint echo worldwide. The U.S. insists that any resolution must be peaceful, warning that China's actions directly violate this fundamental principle and could destabilize the entire region. The risk of miscalculation is dangerously high. So many ships and planes operating in close quarters could easily spark a disaster, even from a single mistake or misunderstanding. The U.S. urges China to reopen military hotlines, emphasizing that direct communication is essential to prevent accidents from spiraling out of control and to maintain stability. America's posture is one of watchful deterrence, signaling to Beijing and the world that any further aggression will carry immense costs and consequences. U.S. allies stand united in their call for calm, coordinating their diplomatic and military responses to present a unified front. The world is watching for any sign of escalation. The stakes are global, and every move is being scrutinized by governments and citizens alike. The shockwaves from China's drills reach far beyond Taiwan. Japan protests after Chinese missiles land in its exclusive economic zone, raising its military alert. Australia condemns the escalation, warning that conflict would devastate the region and disrupt vital shipping lanes. Southeast Asian nations, caught between superpowers, call for restraint and fear spillover effects. The Philippines worries about its fishermen and proximity to the conflict. The Taiwan Strait is a global trade artery. Disruptions are already raising costs and threatening supply chains. Export-driven economies across the Indo-Pacific dread a prolonged crisis. The drills are a stark reminder of China's growing military reach. The region is on edge, desperate to avoid economic and security catastrophe. Analysts see Joint Sword 2025B as a chillingly realistic rehearsal for war. The PLA is practicing three phases: gaining air and sea superiority, imposing a blockade, and preparing for amphibious assault. Missile launches and air sorties simulate destroying Taiwan's defenses. Closure zones and the Shandong carrier group demonstrate how China could cut Taiwan off from the world. Amphibious drills test the logistics of landing troops on hostile shores. These exercises refine PLA command, control, and coordination for a real invasion. The message: China is willing and able to use force for unification. For Taipei and Washington, these drills are a sobering blueprint for potential conflict. Despite the encirclement, daily life in Taiwan continues with remarkable calm. Years of living under threat have forged a resilient, prepared society. Sales of emergency kits rise, air raid drills are routine, and civil defense handbooks are widely distributed. The mood is practical: hope for peace, prepare for the worst. Taiwan's vibrant democracy and strong national identity unite its people. News coverage is robust, public debate lively, and the commitment to freedom unwavering. Anxiety simmers beneath the surface, but fear does not rule. The message to Beijing, Taiwan will not be cowed into submission. Their calm is strength, a quiet determination to defend their way of life. The world sees a society refusing to yield to intimidation. Experts warn the risk of accidental escalation is dangerously high. With so many military assets in close proximity, a single mistake could trigger catastrophe. Communication hotlines between the US and China have gone silent, increasing the danger of miscalculation. Each side sees its actions as defensive, the others as aggressive, fueling a cycle of tension. China's drills are a response to perceived separatism and US interference. The US and Taiwan see them as unprovoked aggression. This feedback loop pushes both sides closer to the brink. Even if the drills end peacefully, China has set a new, more aggressive baseline. The next round may be even more provocative. The world is witnessing a perilous dance on the edge of war. One wrong move could have global consequences. As of December 4th, the Taiwan Strait remains a global flashpoint. China's military drills have pushed the region to high alert, with the US and allies issuing urgent warnings. The world has seen a preview of what war over Taiwan could mean: economic chaos and possible great power conflict. Taiwan's calm resolve and US support stand in contrast to China's fury. The lack of communication and dense military presence make the risk of miscalculation dangerously real. Even if this crisis passes, the strategic landscape has changed. The world is on a tense vigil, hoping for restraint but preparing for the worst. The fate of millions, and the global order, hangs in the balance.